And I'm the Director of Admissions for the Citadel, and I want to welcome you to today's edition of Inside the Gates as we take a close look at the Citadel. We're thrilled to have you here today. We're hoping that the program today will help continue to spark your interest, confirm your interest in attending the Citadel. We wish we could do this here on campus today, but obviously due to the virus, that's not possible. But if you want to visit the campus, we're still hosting family visits Monday through Friday. We encourage you to come take a look up close and personal as best we can offer at this point. You'll have an opportunity to hear from an admissions officer and then have a cadet-led walking tour of our campus. So we encourage you to come visit and spend time with us. For those out there that have already received your academic acceptance, congratulations. We're excited for you. We're thrilled for you. For those of you still going through the application process, if you haven't yet submitted your application, we encourage you to finish it and get it submitted as soon as you can. Have your high school send us your transcripts so that we can get your files evaluated and get you your admissions decision as soon as we can. So we're thrilled for all of you to be with us today. One of the things, what we're going to do today is you're going to hear from the Provost. And at the end of her program, we're going to have an opportunity to address questions and answers. So as she talks, as she gives her presentation, and you think of things, pop them into that chat box so we can be ready to address your questions as we get to the end of her program. At the end of the question and answer period, you're going to have an opportunity to hear from 5 short pre-recorded videos from the deans of our 5 academic colleges with a little introduction into the majors and the schools to whet your appetite for some follow-on programming we'll have here very shortly in the next couple weeks, which will be addressing those individual majors. So again, we're thrilled to have you here with us today. We look forward to your questions at the end, and we look forward to you visiting the campus as well. Now, today's speaker, our first speaker, is a distinguished scholar and teacher of nonprofit management, human resource management, and leadership studies. She's been published extensively, and her articles have appeared in numerous distinguished publications. As our provost and dean of the college, she's our chief academic officer and the second ranking official on the campus. She leads our strategic planning for the academic mission of the college as she works to ensure that our academic programs are indeed world-class and in keeping with the college's core values of honor, duty, and respect. Prior to coming to the Citadel, she served for 18 years at University of Lynchburg, where she spent 4 of those years as their provost. She started her academic career as an assistant professor in the Maxwell School of Citizenship at the Syracuse University. Please welcome Brigadier General Sally Selden.
Thank you very much. I am excited to be here, and I'm going to turn my slideshow on. So just give me a quick second. Let's see if it's working. Perfect. Well, I appreciate that warm introduction, and I'm delighted that you've either been accepted to the Citadel, so congratulations, or that you're in the application process. And what I hope to do through my presentation today is give you a little bit of flavor of what the Citadel is like, to talk about some of our outstanding academic programs. But probably, I'll be honest, probably the thing that will be most helpful for you is to have a chance to ask me any question you want. So as I'm going through this presentation, please take a little time to jot down your questions and don't hesitate to ask. I've been in higher education more than 25 years, so I've seen a lot over these years. I've seen a lot of changes, and I'm excited to be at the Citadel, and I'm really excited to share some of the innovative things that we're doing here on campus and to help you better understand what the 4-year experience would be like for you here at the Citadel. It might also be helpful for you to know that I'm a mother of 3 young men. They too are currently in college. And like all of you, I have a rising senior, and he may even be on this call. So he is also interested in the Citadel. So one of the things we pride ourselves on at the Citadel is our mission. You can meet anyone on campus. It doesn't matter whether it's a cadet, whether it's a faculty or staff member. Everybody really knows our mission and lives our mission. And our mission is to educate and develop principled leaders. And the way we do that are through our core values of honor, duty, and respect. Now, this is truly a 4-year experience at the Citadel. You come in as a knob, and we prepare you for leadership, and you progress through 4 different stages. Now, you might be interested. I love this part because this is where we blend academic and practice. But the things that might interest you is that this is a unique experience. We call it the Citadel experience is what we like to call it. And what's different about this is that you're going to have a holistic experience, both in terms of your academic programs, but also in terms of your leadership development experiences, both inside the classroom, but even outside the classroom. We like to call it a living leadership lab. Now, some of the practical things that are interesting is that you're going to get up early in the morning. You're going to have to go to class, which these are actually good things, and that we have evening study period every single night of the week. Now, that's really helpful because we have academic officers that are in our different companies and in our barracks, and they're all there to help you. So those are peers that will help you with your studies, and we have lots of things on campus. So you're going to see that you're going to get so much more than just a set of classes as being part of the Citadel. And I like to say one of the things I really appreciate about the Citadel is that we are steeped in tradition. This is an incredible place. You will have experiences unique to each of your years that you are here, but we're also really committed to innovation. So I'm really excited to share this slide with you. It is hot off the presses. Just last week, we opened a state-of-the-art business school, Baston Hall, and this is one of the first pictures. And I'm going to talk a lot about high-impact practices, and I want to tell you why this building and what an impact this facility is going to have on any cadet interested in business, for example. So as you're looking at this is sort of the lobby, and you can see the ticker that has the stock prices for different companies that runs all day long. But inside of this building, we have a room that allows you to be engaged in trading, right? And so we have it's a finance lab, lots of software. We also have an incredible facility related to innovation for entrepreneurship. We run what we call the Baker School of Business Bowl, the Baker Bowl, and that's a competition, an entrepreneurship competition. We've got a sales team, and so we've got some really interesting space where you get ready to do sales competitions. And it's not just in business. We also have lots of academic competition teams in engineering and other disciplines. Our cyber team has done incredibly well in their national competitions. So I'm going to talk about the different kinds of high impact educational experiences, and we are in the process of really changing our facility to support those. This is really a neat addition. We're working on this. This will be open for the incoming freshmen next year who are interested in biology or sciences or pre-med. This is a virtual reality cadaver machine. It's interactive. It has biofeedback. And so this is going to completely change how we've been teaching anatomy and physiology. Now, it's important, as I mentioned, for high impact practices, we really encourage our graduates to do internships. About 60% of the graduates last year completed an internship, and they occur all over. And we've had cadets do internships in the FBI, in the medical college, in the VA, in Blackbaud, lots of different companies, both locally and outside of Charleston. We have a program. We've had a summer program, an internship program in the summer.
Dr. Selden, may I interrupt you for just a second?
Absolutely.
We're having a little technical issue on our end, and your slides are not advancing. We can see the PowerPoint, but not the actual slides.
So let me do this. If you give me 2 seconds, I'm going to flip out and just put my Okay, can you see me now? I'm so
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So now I'm going to get back on PowerPoint. I don't know what happened. Thanks for letting me know. So what I did is I just went to my laptop. So this should work. So what I'm going to do really quickly is start with the slide of Basson Hall, just so people can see it. This is our new business school building. This is the lobby, as I mentioned earlier, with the ticker. This is the new virtual cadaver. You know, that's that virtual reality software.
Man, we still have the issue with the slides not advancing.
Okay, hold on. Let me just do it. Can you see them now?
No, ma'am, I cannot see your screen.
You can't. Well, then I don't know what's going on.
Well, I tell you what, if you wouldn't mind, continue your talk, and then what we can do on our end, if you don't mind, we can email your slides out at the end of this presentation.
Yes. Okay. Yes, absolutely. So I'm not sure what's going on. And so everybody out in the audience, I really do apologize. Let me just kind of pick up. I had talked about a little bit about our program in DC, and we're really excited because we've been running a summer internship program for the last several years. We're actually going to be opening up semester study aways in Washington, DC. Those will start effect next fall. So again, we think internships is super important in terms of hands-on activities, allows you to look at a field and figure out, okay, is this a field that I see myself engaged in? We also are, we have a number of study abroad programs. We encourage our cadets, especially their sophomore year, to consider doing a fall or spring semester. We operate programs in Rome, Greece, and Cyprus. We also work with cadets about other placements if those academic fits don't work. We also run a series of summer programs that are summer abroad programs. We have programs pretty regularly related to the medical field in Lithuania. With our cyber and intel programs, we have a very strong program that's in Estonia and Georgia. If you're a science student, if you're interested in sciences, we like to do field work in Panama and some other countries. In other words, if you have an interest in a subject area, we have lots of study abroad options for different subject areas. Now, internships, study abroad, they kind of give you a more holistic experience. We also encourage our cadets to get engaged in undergraduate research. We run a summer undergraduate research program where you can get a grant to work and live in Charleston for the summer and work hand in hand with one of our faculty members. Those experiences often lead to publication. We actually have a day on campus where our cadets present their research to the colleagues across campus. But it's a pretty exciting program, and we do really encourage that. We've had students, for example, involved in studying soccer. You know, they use data from our soccer team over time looking at concussion outcomes. My favorite, and I'm sorry I don't have the pictures to show you, I absolutely love the fact that one of our faculty, he's one of our best faculty in engineering, Dr. Simon Gannett, he has worked with some of his students to figure out what is it that you can do with plucked mud. And I'll be honest, when I came to Charleston, I came from Virginia. We didn't have plucked mud in Virginia. That's a unique substance that has a really unique odor. So if you've never been to Charleston, it may be new to you. And so what we're trying to do is there something that we could learn about plucked mud that could be used in the construction industry? We've also had students looking at barriers to entering nursing programs. Now, one of the more interesting things I think you'll find is that we actually publish a journal called the Gold Star Journal that's run by an editorial team of cadets, and that we disseminate not only to our campus community, but outside of our campus community. It really highlights the quality of the research that's going on at the graduate level. Now, you know, I talked a lot about our core values, honor, duty, and respect. I talked about our leadership development 4-year model. A big part of that is our Krause Center and our commitment to service learning. And obviously, since mid-March last year to this fall, the amount of service learning that has occurred has been sort of truncated. But we have actually continued to have our cadets engaged in different service activities in our community, not as extensively as we have in the past, but we found ways in which they can serve. But I want to share with you, the first year I was here, our cadets completed almost 36,000 hours of service. And that's tremendous. And I often get stopped by members of our community in Charleston thanking me for the service that our cadets have done for a nonprofit that they're engaged with. Now, I will say to you, one of the things, if your parents are on here, what's important, they care a lot about graduation rates. In the state of South Carolina, we have the highest 4-year graduation rate. Our retention rate from our freshman to sophomore is 88%. And you might think, wow, that's really quite good. And it really is good, because your first year is unlike any other first year at any other institution in South Carolina. It's incredible. And so we have, our cadets, they make strong bonds with their other NOB freshmen. They build those relationships, and they love this institution and the traditions. Now, I come from the faculty side, so I want to talk a little bit about the quality of the Citadel faculty. We have an extraordinary faculty. They're teacher scholars is what I like to call them. And what does that mean to you? That means they've chosen to come to an institution that says our primary mission is education and teaching, and that's what we put first. But our faculty are also outstanding scholars. And I mentioned the fact that they're looking for ways to get you as an undergraduate student involved in their research. That's a pretty incredible opportunity. Prepares you whether you want to go into the workplace, prepares you whether you want to go to graduate school, or whether you're going to go into the military. And there's some pretty intense assignments. You got to develop pretty good research skills if you plan to become a general one day in the military. And last year alone, our faculty got more than $3 million in external grants. And again, that provides opportunities for research for you. Our faculty, most of them hold a terminal degree. What does that mean? That's a Ph.D. But they're more than academics. Many of them have been in the FBI, the CIA, had established military careers. They've been engineers. They've been stockbrokers. So you see lots of our faculty members have been already engaged in the field in which they are teaching. And that's really kind of interesting, because they design research projects within the class that link to things that happen in practice. We have a small student faculty ratio. As I mentioned, our faculty are committed to teaching, but we keep that ratio low. It's a 12-to-1 ratio. What does that mean for you practically? It means small classes, a faculty advisor, opportunity to sit down with your faculty outside of class for help, just to talk about possible career paths. So we have lots of faculty who are around and available to you as a student. Now, one of the other things that's somewhat unique, I think, to the Citadel we run a series of mentor programs all over campus. And this is where our departments help connect cadets to alumni, especially in those fields of study. And again, that's incredible, because these are our alumni, and you're going to find the alumni network at the Citadel is really an incredible value added to you. The minute you get ready to graduate, you've got people all over the world that have gone to the Citadel and committed to helping Citadel graduates. And you can begin building those relationships while you're here with alumni mentors. We get phone calls all the time. I want to get involved. I want to mentor a cadet. And these are great connections. Now, all of our faculty belong to the South Carolina Unorganized Militia, and that's important. You'll see that when you're in class, they're in uniform, just like you'll be in uniform, and that's important to us as a faculty, because we know that we are teaching in a military environment, and it's a demonstration of the level of respect and support that we have for the path that you have chosen. Now, I know you're going to hear from our deans of our 5 academic schools, but I do think it's important to have a sense of what those schools are. We have, as I mentioned earlier, a brand new building for our Baker School of Business. We also have a School of Humanities and Social Sciences, and some of the disciplines you're going to hear about are Intel. We're in the process of this starting in June. We're going to be starting a building process for a brand new facility for Humanities and Social Sciences. We also have a School of Mathematics and Science, a School of Engineering, and a School of Education. We have more than 26 majors and numerous minors, so you have an opportunity to double major with a couple different minors. There are lots of options available to you. Again, I mentioned our retention rate. I mentioned our graduation rate. There's a wonderful story from Georgetown. Well, it's actually a research project done by Georgetown University that looked on the return on investment. Okay, you might say, what is that for college education? That is, they looked at what people earned over their lifetime, and what we found, the results for the Citadel were impressive. We're in the top 5% of universities in the United States. There are more than 5,000 universities. We sit right at the very top in terms of how well our graduates do. We also, every year, about a third of our graduates commission into the military. Our largest number of commissions is done through the Army. And I know that is an important opportunity for many of you, and we can talk more about it. We also work very hard as you get closer to graduation. If you're not opting to go into the military, of course, you know that pathway. We work very hard to make sure that you have secured a job, applied for and been accepted at graduate schools. If you take a look at our acceptance rate, our students do very well in that competition for graduate education, whether it's going into a professional program like medical school or an MBA, or whether it's going into a more traditional academic discipline like Intel or political science. We have been recognized for the quality of the experience. We have been consistently ranked #1 in the South regional schools for public universities. We're really proud of that, and that is really a reflection of what happens at the Citadel, how hard our students work, and the rate with which they progress to graduation. So there's a lot of exciting things that are going on here, and lots of new things. I mentioned new facilities. We're redoing some majors. We're adopting some new tracks. We're integrating technology. We're working right now with our Krause Center on developing digital tools for leadership. So it's a place that, again, as I mentioned, is steeped in tradition, but is really committed to innovation. So I know that this did not turn out the way we thought it would. Sorry about the slides. As I like to tell my students when I teach in the fall, you've always got to be ready for plan B. You'll get a chance to take a look at those. But I hope that you've heard enough that sort of prompted a question or two that I might take for you. Like maybe you want to say, Dr. Selden, what majors do you have within the Baker School of Business? I could talk about that. So anyway, I'm going to turn it back over to you to allow time to sort of take some of the questions. I'm not necessarily seeing any in the chat box. I can see it, but Greg, but I don't see any.
Yeah, no questions in the chat box right now. So, just some questions that we receive in the admissions office from time to time.
Okay.
If you don't mind, can you explain a little bit of the factors of what U.S. News and World Reports when they rank us the #1 college in the southeastern United States for 10 years in a row? What are they looking at?
Yeah, that's a great question. And some of the things I've talked about, right? They're looking at the quality of our faculty, right? That's really important. They're looking at the size of our classes. They're looking at how well our cadets graduate, right? Relative to other institutions. So they're looking at all these metrics related to quality. Many of the things that I've talked about, the chances to be engaged in high impact practices. And it really is a big deal to be ranked #1. One time, much less over a 10-year period. So it's something that we're really proud of, but it is really a partnership between what we're doing on campus and the level of commitment our cadets have to doing well in the classroom.
We do have a couple of questions coming in now. What's our average classroom size?
I'm sorry?
What's the average classroom size at the Citadel?
Yeah, well, our student faculty ratio is 12:1. I would say our average classroom size is probably about 16 or 17. In some of your freshman classes, like your freshman writing seminar and your freshman topical seminar, those classes are going to be smaller, like 12. And then, some of your other classes, some of your intro classes in business might be 25. But on average, I'd say 16 to 17.
Would you mind expanding a little bit on internship opportunities at the Citadel?
Absolutely. And I'm really excited about internships. We have a couple of places that you can go, but we do have a career center who works closely with our cadets on identifying internships. Many of our internships are hosted by some of our alumni. And as I mentioned, depending on your area of interest, you would then identify possible internships. So we keep pretty good records on that. But also within our schools and within our departments, our department chairs and some of our advisors in the schools, they also had direct connections with internships. And so you can do more than one. You can do an internship for credit. You can do multiple internships for credit. So if you're not really sure what you want to do and you think, well, I might be interested in law or I might be interested in foreign service, you might think about designing 2 different internships to kind of give you more insight into those professions.
Thank you. What about study abroad? Are those opportunities available at the Citadel?
Yes. Now, I have to be completely honest with you. This fall semester and this spring semester, we have not offered study abroad. As I mentioned, we have semester-long programs in Greece and Rome and Cyprus. Because of the COVID environment, we were not able to operate those. It is our hope and our expectation that next year that those programs will reopen. Typically in the summer, we run 10 to 12 programs. For example, we have Project Go, which is a summer program if you had an interest in learning Chinese. So those programs go, they cut across a number of different disciplines. They also are in different locations all over the world. Even at one point, we did a semester at sea. We're not doing that right now, just so you know, but we have even done a semester at sea, which was very interesting. I love to hear the stories.
And just a general question, how do cadets manage cadet life with the academics?
That's a great question. That's one of the things I really love about the Citadel is that you're gonna, I like to say one of my favorite things is that, if you think about a rubber band, and I always tell people when you stretch that rubber band and at some point it stretches so tight that you think it might break, and it doesn't really break, but it's that point in which you learn the most. And so one of the powerful things about being at the Citadel is that you're going to have the rigor and the demands of what goes on within the barracks and the cadet life part, with the rigor and the demands of what goes on in the academic departments. Now, what you're going to hear from the commandant and what you're going to hear from your provost and what you're going to hear across campus is that the number one reason you're here is academics. That's why we have evening study period. So there are times in which that gets to be a little tense, but you have people within your companies, your academic officers that are helping you make sure that you're going to be successful in that classroom. But, especially that knob year, you're learning everything, right? That's what that fourth class system's all about. During your knob year, that's where you really learn it. In fact, I was just talking to an alumni the other day, and he graduated in the 70s. And he said he's so proud to be a graduate of the Citadel because everything that happened, he earned. He really felt like when he walked across that stage of graduation that he had done something really special because it was tough, but it was rewarding. And he said most importantly is that the friendships that he made have lasted a lifetime. And, and in fact, he was talking to me just about what I was saying. How can I help the cadets, right? What can I do? How can I get engaged? What can we do on campus? So it'll be challenging, but achievable. And I'll be honest with you, the Citadel's not for everybody, right? You've got to want a challenge, and but there are a lot of things in place that allow you to find that balance. And it won't always be easy, but you'll be much more resilient when you graduate.
Are there any programs over the summer that will help prepare incoming cadets?
Yes. So one of the nice things about the Citadel is we do run summer school. And we actually have a special program called CSI for incoming knobs. And the nice thing about the CSI program is it will help you begin to understand that fourth class system that I talked about with some orientation, but you also get to take an academic class. And if you're interested in engineering, we find that a lot of our engineering students like to come during our CSI session actually to take math, right? Because they can kind of get ahead, or they may say, I'd like to have a refresher before I hit Calc 2 or Calc 3 or Calc 1. So, we do encourage people to participate in CSI. We're also doing a summer orientation online. If you're not able to come to campus and do a CSI program, that gets you ready, thinking about understanding what those expectations are for when you arrive in August. So that's pretty exciting.
Thank you. One question, and if you don't know the answer to this off the top of your head, Dr. Selden, I'll write the student's name down and we'll get back to him on that. Do you have any information as far as the NCLEX, I assume the passing rate for the nursing program and the NCLEX exam?
Yeah. I'll be completely honest. I don't know the exact number, and we have only 2 years of test data. So we're only in our second year of test data. I want to say we're in around 70%. We still had a couple of cadets to test. Again, that's first time pass rate. For our first class, we had almost all, I think only one who's not actually reset for the exam, passed the NCLEX. We've been in the process of making some changes to our nursing program. We've added some additional clinical sites. And so we are, we actually have adopted to have an NCLEX It's a review class, and for our seniors right now, it runs all semester. So they're working on a review class, and hopefully they will take their NCLEX as soon as they graduate. That's probably the most important thing. If you're a nursing student, whether you choose the Citadel or not, sign up for that NCLEX exam the minute you graduate. The longer you wait, the longer you've been away from the content of what you've been studying.
Thank you. One last question, and I know you're busy. We'll let you get on to with your evening. Are students allowed to maintain a job while they're on campus as a cadet?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and the general answer is no, not normally, right? So one of the things about being a member of the Corps of Cadets, it is a 24/7 experience. Now, are there some limited opportunities? Yes, I think that there are some opportunities to do tour guides and some limited things, but we don't allow our cadets to work. There is not sufficient time to hold the job, especially not off campus. And so now in the summers, you certainly can work. One of the things we really work on, if it's a matter of finances, we work with our financial aid office on different kinds of scholarships. And so if it's an issue of that, we really try to work individually with cadets on that issue.
Well, thank you, Dr. Selden. We appreciate your time this evening, and apologize for the technical difficulties, but we'll get squared away and get those slides and any information that you as students, if you have other questions, I'll have a slide in just a little bit that will have email addresses that you can email those questions to, and our goal is to have all your questions answered, and you can always contact the admissions office. So thank you, Dr. Selden.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Time.
That's about the slides.
Yes, ma'am. And so up next, we're going to hear from the deans of our 5 academic schools, as Dr. Selden mentioned in her presentation. And in the near future, you're actually going to receive an invitation to some specific academic webinars that will talk about the majors within those 5 schools. With these videos, you'll see some great things that are happening in each of the 5 schools. And so hopefully that'll create some interest for you to tune in to their major specific webinars.
Hi, I'm Michael Weeks. I'm Dean of the Baker School of Business, and welcome. We're glad that you're considering the Citadel for your educational experience. So you want to work for the next Google? You want to start your own company? You want to be an accountant? You've come to the right place. We've got a full-featured business school here that's accredited by the best accrediting body, AACSB, ready to help you reach your goals. We think that the educational experience you'll get here will prepare you for any role, whether you go into the civilian world or into the military. You can learn about technology, you can learn about analytics, you can learn how to manage people, manage resources, and be prepared for what the new economy will do in the coming years. There's a lot of opportunity here. We have the best tools for you, and you will be in our new building, Baston Hall, which is going to be a state-of-the-art facility opening in January. We have some of the tools that you'll be using in the industry. We have Bloomberg terminals for those of you that want to go to Wall Street. We have access to SAP software, which is used by some of the biggest companies in the world, including some here in Charleston, Boeing, Mercedes, Volvo. We have access to those tools that they use to manage these multinational, multi-billion-dollar companies on a daily basis, and you can get trained in that during your time at the Citadel. We offer 5 majors for you. You can major in accounting, finance, supply chain management, and then finally marketing and business development, which is a marketing degree with a sales focus. We think this suite of majors gives you a lot of opportunity to develop yourself and leverage your skills to be successful in the workplace. We have a coaching program that can connect you with experts and leaders in the field so that you can get first-class professional development about your career choices. We know this experience is going to be great for you. We think that you can experience all that we have. We have teams that work on projects with real businesses during your classroom time. And we also have the ability for you to do internships with some of the leading firms in the world. All of these opportunities will spell success for you and your time here at the Citadel, so that when you leave, you'll be job ready on day one to make the maximum impact for the organization that you select as you move forward and graduate from the Citadel. We're excited about the opportunity to have you here. We think it's a great education, and that, coupled with the military training, the discipline that you get, will prepare you for any walk of life that you select. And that's a key. You get to select. This prepares you so that you have choices and you have options. We really hope to be able to see you in the fall, and you'll see following presentations that will give you more details about what we offer in the Baker School of Business. So welcome, and take advantage to ask any questions you have as you go through this virtual orientation experience. Have a great time.
Welcome. My name is Ron Welch, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Dean of the School of Engineering. Thank you for joining us today as we spend time getting to know each other and answer questions you have about the Citadel, the School of Engineering, and the faculty who will guide in your learning. As you can see on the slide, we're very excited to be the 17th ranked engineering school in the country for programs with a master's degree and below. You'll also note that we have been a top 25 ranked program for the last 8 years. Also, the civil engineering program itself has been a top 10 ranked program for just as long. You will see our mission is to set the conditions, strengthen and build on your existing math and science foundation. Add on top our ABET engineering curriculum, which will require your dedication and hard work. Infuse the experience with academic enrichment activities to set you on the path to a great career with numerous growth opportunities. We are a hands-on programs preparing our alumni to meet industry needs right at graduation, which means you will learn design and many times build something to code. You will see in the top pictures the spring 2020 winning Business Bulldog entry, a wall climbing vehicle to inspect structures. The winning check is to support the entrepreneurial startup of a company to build and sell the vehicle. Also presented is a robotic hand that does sign language.
Sign letter alpha. Run letter Sierra. Start Lima.
Our students also compete and win at regional student conferences against schools like Georgia Tech, North Carolina State, Clemson, University of South Carolina, Florida, and many others in the concrete canoe displayed here, steel bridge, robotics, a self-driving car, which is having its capabilities displayed at the Intelligent Ground Vehicle Competition in Michigan. Here's a short video to show you something that they had to create as part of the competition. Baja competition. Here's a video of one of our first designs in that competition. Of course, the first thing we said was, "Where's your helmet?" Parents, we're always stressing safety, just like you do every time your child walks out the door. We also encourage our students to complete as many internships each summer as possible to add experiences to their resume. Mom and dad, an internship after the first year in college is possible, but with such limited skills after the first year, most likely it's through your contacts that will give your rising sophomore internship. Of course, we are engaging K through 12 with our students to allow them to motivate future engineers through robotics, craft stick bridge testing, bottle rockets, and trebuchets. To ensure success within our formula, we have faculty from research universities such as University of Illinois, UT Austin, Georgia Tech, Clemson, Alabama, Carnegie Mellon, Florida, and many others, and are here first to teach and possibly do some undergraduate research. Our classrooms are active learning spaces where you cannot hide. You will be part of the learning. You have a choice of civil engineering, electrical engineering, computer engineering, construction engineering, and mechanical engineering. The really cool part about getting an engineering undergraduate degree is that you already have a great career lined up that is always short of people to fill. But also with an additional course or two, we're not regulated to only being engineers. Many engineers go into law school and medical school. We move up into organization to become the CFO or the CEO, using our engineering, math, and science skills to continue to solve problems for the companies and people we work with and for. In fact, there is no career that is out of reach once you complete a BS in engineering. Engineering plus leadership, of course, that equals a very successful career. I will see you all soon in engineering-specific Zoom session next, where we will break out to discuss and answer questions about each type of engineering available at the Citadel. Have a great day.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Darren Zimmerman, and I'm the Dean of the Swain Family School of Science and Mathematics here at the Citadel. I trust that you and your family are doing well. These have certainly been challenging times, to say the least. While my message is coming to you today by a recorded video, I hope that sometime very soon we'll be able to meet in person and I can get to know you and your family. The 7 departments within the Swain Family School offer outstanding bachelor's degrees in biology, chemistry, computer science, cyber operations, exercise science, physical education, sport management, mathematics, nursing, and physics. One of the hallmarks of our school is the emphasis we place on strong faculty engagement of students in scholarship outside the classroom. That may come in the form of undergraduate research or internships or capstone projects working on a team, or opportunities to develop a mentoring relationship with one of our alumni and becoming part of their network. You see, we not only believe in excellent classroom instruction in which you learn knowledge, but also in developing critical thinking and problem-solving skills and soft skills, which we believe are best learned in practice. And these are vital to your success. To you, future Citadel Knobs, my message to you is this: we are here to help you get to where you want to be. We're passionate about developing the next generation of leaders in science and mathematics, and we believe that that is you. Throughout your 4 years at the Citadel, you will build, really from day one, an ever-increasing level of knowledge and also assumption of leadership responsibilities. And that's going to give you an edge over other graduates as you pursue your career goals or further education. I strongly encourage you to take advantage of the upcoming events offered by the Office of Admissions. But please reach out to me or any of our faculty in the school. We'd love to discuss your educational goals. And we hope to see you when the fall semester begins. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Evan Ortlieb, and I'm the Dean of the Zucker Family School of Education. I want to welcome you to the Citadel and having a look at various options and majors that we have here within our particular school. I wanted to introduce you to some of the exciting possibilities within the field of education. I wanted to start off by saying, again, congratulations on your acceptance into the Citadel, starting things off strong. And I wanted to perhaps entice you to some opportunities here in our school. We have a secondary education program if you are considering to become a social studies, biology, chemistry teacher. In the high school years, we know that those years were packed full of experiments and exciting opportunities to get your hands dirty and connect with content amongst those areas, learn about the rich histories, not only here in the Charleston area and in our great nation, as well as throughout the world. We also have foreign language concentrations for any of you who have enthusiasm, interest, and perhaps expertise in other languages outside of English. We have opportunities for you to become a French, a German, or a Spanish teacher as well. We have a physical education program, so you can become a PE teacher, which we know is always keeping people moving, keeping people excited in school settings, whether that be in elementary years, middle grades, or even in high school. So that sort of K through or pre-K through 12 range, if you will. So we have those opportunities at the undergraduate level. And then I wanted to kick off a top 10 list for why you should consider becoming a teacher in this day and age. Number one, the growing demand for teachers is phenomenal. Particularly here in the state of South Carolina, there's a dire shortage and need for teachers throughout the state, in many geographic areas, and in many high needs content areas, particularly, like I said, biology, chemistry, social studies alike. Number two, the opportunity to impact the lives of children. There's no bigger influence in the lives of children, perhaps outside of one's family, than who their teachers are and becoming a role model to the next generation. Number three, the portability of a teaching credential. If you get licensed here in the state of South Carolina, there are many other states that have reciprocal agreements with South Carolina so that you can easily transport your certification without having to jump through too many hoops to be able to get certified in North Carolina, Georgia, California, Texas, etc. Number four, the family-friendly work schedule. We know that one of the most exciting things about a teacher's schedule are the summers, having opportunities to spend time with your family and friends alike, being able to decompress from the 10-month school year, if you will, is something that's incredibly important to all of us. Number five, opportunities for continued education. Oftentimes, your employers will be able to pay for your graduate or advanced study. So maybe you want to transition from a teacher to become a counselor. We have programs for that. Maybe you want to become an assistant principal, superintendent, and the like. We have programs for that. Maybe you want to end up teaching at a college or university like the Citadel, and you can come take our jobs, and we're happy to support you along the way. So there's many opportunities, as I said, for continued education. Number six, the satisfaction of contributing to the larger community. We know that education is one of the biggest obstacles in terms of issues of equity and access. And by going into that field directly, you are trying to improve upon those conditions, whether it be in urban, rural areas, or suburban areas alike. Number seven, an outlet for your creativity. In my job here as dean, I'm able to strategize. I'm able to come up with interesting ideas for recruitment, interesting ideas for online teaching and learning, interesting ideas for collaboration and teamwork across multimodal settings. So we get to sort of reinvent our own practices each year, and engaging in that process is always enjoyable for all parties. Number eight, a work environment that's never dull. Students, especially young ones in the middle and high school years, they keep you on your toes, right? There's no comfort factor there. There's always questions coming at you that perhaps you didn't expect. And it's those experiences that always keep you driving forward, keep you learning along the way, and interacting with high schoolers is second to none, as you already know. Number nine, a job that keeps you young. Every year we get older and older, but you keep teaching the same 9th or 10th graders, right? And so they keep you up to date on current events and other sort of things, whether it be social media, new apps, new business, new news, etc., that is relevant to their lives, so you can continue to stay connected in that regard to your constituents. And lastly, and perhaps incredibly important, is the chance to change the future. Each and every day we have the opportunity to interact with others that are going to be leaders in their respective communities, in industries, or perhaps in the field of education itself. You can be a role model to so many people and influence the lives of others through becoming a teacher. I hope that you'll take the opportunity today to come in and learn more from the Zucker Family School of Education, learn more about our programs about being a teacher in the very near future. We look forward to sharing more information with you very shortly. Take care and all the best.
Welcome to the School of Humanities and Social Sciences at the Citadel. Since this institution was founded in 1842, The Citadel's primary mission has been on service and leadership, two qualities most in need in our society today. And in the School of Humanities and Social Sciences is where you'll find the disciplines, skills, and knowledge so vital to our service mission. By way of introduction, the School of Humanities and Social Sciences offers degree programs and majors in the following areas: criminal justice, English, history, intelligence and security studies, modern languages, political science, and psychology. These disciplines evolve and change over time. They are not rote. They are not static. They are authentically dynamic and continue to evolve as our civilization evolves. They are highly interpretive, but provide you also the opportunity to create, to imagine, to reflect, to analyze, to reveal and to discover your own passion, your own mind, and your own truth. Here, we develop servant leaders for all kinds of professions and career paths, particularly those in service to the Republic, whether through the armed forces, government, or civil service. We train scholars and professionals to understand the human heart and human mind, so you will be prepared to exercise a form of advanced global citizenship in which you as a leader are responsible for far more than just yourself, but your country, your society, your world. In the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, you will find meaning for your college experience. It won't be like the experience of your family or your friends, but it will be yours alone. And our disciplines help you find and understand your own assumptions, your own strengths, your passion, and your motivation. But where will I work? Turn away from the noise out there. You'll hear that there's no jobs for you in these majors. Simply because everyone repeats that doesn't make it true. The truth is, our students get jobs and earn more over time than just about any other major. The truth is, the world is a chaotic place, and any and all attempts to reduce it down to ones and zeros, to simple equations, or to interpret only through the lens of scientific fact or fiction is fallacy. The world is full of unpredictable humans. They do as they choose, and because they do, the world needs you. The hard jobs of the future are the ones that routinely deal with people, and that's almost all of them. The ones which require creative and compassionate thinking, thoughtful and careful language, diverse and inclusive attitudes, wide and free perspectives, quick and effective problem-solving skills, as well as the knowledge of the world, which makes conversations and collaborations with a variety of people possible, engaging, and pleasant. This nation and our world need these kinds of leaders, and we aim to produce them in the School of Humanities and Social Sciences. The School of Humanities and Social Sciences focuses on those disciplines which allow people, you, to become their best. The priority is people. The priority is you, your development, your well-being, your privacy, your intelligence, your freedom, your relationship to our planet, to the international community, to commerce, and more. The issues of great concern to you, understandings of race and racism, the smart device as a personal hub, personal privacy, diversity and inclusion, global health, climate change, and artificial intelligence. The ethical decisions that leaders make in these realms and others are shaped by their personal worldview, a worldview we believe is best developed by the study of humanities and social science degrees. A degree from the School of Humanities and Social Sciences is about experiences in and out of the classroom with dynamic, professional, respected scholars in a brand new building coming online in 2023 with specialty classrooms and creative comforts, rich with chances to study abroad, in London, in Georgia, that's Eastern Europe, not Southeast Conference, to study the lived human experience where the world is your laboratory and your experience and curiosity make you exceptional. This is where your creativity, your energy, and your passion are the fuel for learning and for becoming the best version of yourselves. Thanks for taking the time to listen to us in the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, and we hope to see you in the fall.
All right. I hope everybody got a lot of great information from our presentation this evening. And as Lieutenant Colonel Powell said in his opening, we are open for campus visits Monday through Friday by appointment. And I would encourage you to do so. A better look at the campus is to be here in person. You can hear live from admissions officers, take a cadet guided tour of campus, and you can sign up for those visits at www.prenob.com, which is www.preknob.com. And also, if you would like to speak with a current cadet, I'm going to put up a QR code here. You can either scan that on your phone right now if you're watching on your computer, or if you are watching on your phone or tablet, simply just take a screenshot of that and then go from there, and you can scan it on. It should actually pop up, but if not, you can scan it to your phone or someone else's phone, and we do have cadets available to speak with you via Zoom if you'd like that opportunity. And lastly but not least, I hope everyone had hope it was an informative session. I hope you got all of your questions answered, but if not, feel free to email us at admissions@citadel.edu or pick up the phone and give us a call. We'll be happy to talk with you, and we look forward to having you on campus soon. And with that, I'm going to conclude our program. And again, wish everyone a strong end to your semester, your senior year, and hope to see you on campus in the fall.